Peace be to you. This is Omar Abdul Malik, physician assistant and health educator. So today I want to talk about meeting the minimal requirements for PA school. I'm back to my running. By God's good grace, at 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. So I'm doing this because I've spoken to a couple of people, actually a few, who have been rejected from PA school. And they're really upset about it. They're calling me like, I followed your advice. And I feel bad for them. But I was looking at a lot of the statistics for PA schools. And you can see this on the NCCPA and even the AAPA website. It's extremely competitive now. Oh my God. I think the average GPA is like a 3.5, like a 3.6 in the sciences. The GRE is, I don't know, it's 300 or something. I took the GRE like 25 years ago, so those numbers don't mean a whole lot to me. But the people had like 2,000 hours of direct patient care contact. They've got great letters of recommendation. So it's really, really competitive. So I've spoken about this in other videos. You don't want to be a barely there applicant. I can't emphasize this enough. All programs have their minimal requirements. So you don't want to be that applicant that either has the bare minimal requirements or this, doesn't even meet the minimal requirements. So for instance, you have to have a bachelor's degree. I think for 99.9% of the programs now. So if you show up, you say, well, I have an associate's and I have most of the classes that you require, and you don't get in, you don't have the right to say, hey man, how come I didn't get in? Well, you didn't meet the minimal requirements, man. If it says a 3.0, they're not saying a 2.99. I had a young lady who came to my office, she was doing something in the healthcare field. She showed me her transcripts and her resume. That's what I usually require of people that I'm mentoring. She presented very well. Had her on a nice black pantsuit and everything. I said, well, you look the part, but you have a 2.95, where the schools are saying the minimal requirement is a 3.0. And she asked me, she said, well, you think I should still apply? I said, you could do it if you want. My advice would be to take another course, just one course, and get that up to at least a 3.0. And even then, you'll have met the minimal requirements. She said, well, I said, you could go ahead and see if you get lucky or something. If it's God's will for you to get in. So she applied. She didn't get in. I said, well, yeah, I kind of told you. Had another young lady who, I say young ladies because it's mostly women that are applying to PA schools. A sister who was like really well established in her career. She had a master's degree. She was running some department, some health, several years ago. She was running some health department at her corporation. And there were courses that she hadn't taken in years. So she had done undergrad years ago. I said, well, look, these courses that you have are more than 8 years old. They're probably going to make you take at least a couple of these again. She's like, oh, I'm not taking that. I have a master's degree in this, and I used to teach that, and I run this, and I run that. I said, listen, you can't tell the program what you're not going to take. It's just not how it works. I mean, you have the freedom. Nobody's making you apply to PA school. And I was trying to really help her out because I thought that she would have been a really good PA from what she told me about the reasons why she wanted to be a PA. So I got on the phone with, I think it was a professor of one of the PA programs. And I said, look, here's how she presents. so what do you think? And she started talking. She said, well, you know, you're going to have to take such and such and such and such. Then she kind of like got, I don't want to say abrasive, but a little more vocal than I would have. I was expecting her to be with the person with whom we were speaking. I said, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. You know, and she started touting her credentials and things. And the person, I could feel the person on the other end of the phone like, who do you think you are, Missy? Well, you are not applying here then. And I was like, oh, come on, you're gonna blow it. And you're in the pre-PA phase. So you have to be humble. You know, a lot of it, this is part of meeting the minimum requirements. You know, when I applied to PA school, I got accepted in 97. So I was in the application process in 96. God, it's 23 years ago. I had a bachelor's degree in biology. I had taken some graduate work at Johns Hopkins University. So, and I'd been a nursing assistant for 7 years, worked in the biotech field. I thought I was the man. I had decent scores on the GREs. I had decent MCAT scores. And I, you know, when I applied, they said, well, look, so you got to take some of these courses over. They're more than, I think their requirement was like if it was more than 5 years or something like that. So I had to take, I think, nutrition and health, community health, something like that. And one of Howard's requirements, because Howard University's requirements, was that you take, what was it, African diaspora, like some kind of African American history course, HBCU. I was like, that doesn't really have a whole lot to do with being a PA, but man, I wanted to get in the program, so I didn't balk and tell them what I wasn't going to take. I took the heck out of those courses. It actually helped my GPA because I did well in all of them. But my point is, you want to make sure. Now I hit the traffic. You want to make sure that you have all of these minimal requirements because it's just so competitive. You know, when you think about the law of averages, you have 1,200 applicants that are applying for a highly competitive program for 30, maybe 60 spots. You don't want to wing it. You know, the stakes are too high. You know, they could choose a bunch of other people. Yeah, and I think now the PA field is getting a lot more notoriety. Our salaries have certainly gone up. I mean, I'm making, I don't know, I'm making more than 3 times more than what my first job paid. It was $56,000 in 2001. I thought that was big money. I made almost 3 times that. You know, so it's, you know, the stakes are very high, and you have a nice lifestyle. So, and PAs, the field is expanding, and we're being used in more venues, research, administration, executive healthcare administration, things like that. A lot of PAs are becoming entrepreneurs. So, yeah, and you're a medical expert in your own right. So there's more prestige with it than there was in prior years. God, look at this hill. God, that's crazy. So you know, you're going to have more. You're going to have a deeper pool of applicants, and it's changed the demographics a lot. But you know, you don't want to be, like I said, a barely there applicant. Find out what the minimal requirements are for the school to which you are applying. Each program is slightly different, so you need to contact that school and find out specifically what courses you need to take. What is the minimal GPA, even if it's posted, because some programs reserve the right to change. How many contact hours do you need? What constitutes the direct patient care hours at that particular school. I don't care if it's listed on CAS, but you need to find out from that particular PA program what they will accept. I've heard this guy told me he spent a year or two working as a home health aide. They didn't count it because it wasn't in the hospital. It wasn't in a hospital or clinic. But I hope I don't sound too harsh for you guys. I've been a PA professor. I've been on the admissions committee. I've been on an ARC review committee. I've been active in AAPA, DCAAPA. Years, almost 20 years experience if I count my academic. So it's been more than 20 years. So I know what I'm talking about. I want you guys that are trying to be part of this great profession to have that opportunity. I'll do what I can to help you. I wish you guys the best of success in your positive endeavors. Peace.